Forbes joins us now here in New York with his reaction to this phase one of a trade deal. How does this line up for you, Steve? Better than you expected? About right? You still want to know more? What's your take?
Well, obviously, we have to learn more, but the very fact that they're doing this now in phases, that they're trying to do it in pieces instead of trying to get a grand deal at once is probably a good thing. The market certainly liked it, and the key thing is, can they get that thing finally signed? And so the quicker they can do it, the better. But the fact that the president would go public the way he did, in the detail in which he did, about 50 billion in agriculture, market access for financial companies, obviously they think they're further along than they were last May when they thought they had a deal and then it blew up. If this thing blows up, it's going to be because it's going to be extremely serious. The Chinese, I don't think, would have let this go as far as it did. It would be a massive humiliation for both sides. So something will get done. And one of the things to look out for, they talked a lot about ag, but I think you're going to see eventually a deal on natural gas, China buying liquefied natural gas from the United States.
Yeah, no, that makes a lot of sense. I mean, did it tell you a lot that, you know, the Chinese, we read all these reports that they were walking away, that they were leaving, and then all of a sudden they weren't leaving? I don't know if that was the fake walkout, but at that moment, Steve, you know, being somebody who knows something about deals, did you get the sense that, you know, they want to get something done?
Well, when you get that kind of pessimism, then you know probably they're going to pull a rabbit out of the hat. And the president saying, making his statements a few days ago, and China threatening to do all these nasty things, not nasty, but saying nothing much is going to happen, and the vice premier does not have the authority to conclude a deal. Well, he wouldn't be over here if Xi didn't say, go over and let's see what we can get.
One of the things we've talked about a lot, Steve, over the last year and a half are the methods versus the final goal. I know you've been critical at times of the methods. Would you be willing to say tonight that the tariffs worked or at least served a purpose?
I would say that the initial tariffs worked a purpose. But I think if we had done as we did with Huawei and some other things earlier, and made it very clear we would take severe retaliatory action against specific companies, specific industries, we might have had a deal earlier. But the key thing is now, we'll get back to the history, but the key thing now is, can they get this ball over the line? And then the next thing to watch out for, are we going to have tariffs on autos and auto imports from Europe? If we avoid that, and USMCA gets through Congress, which I think it will, by golly, it's going to be very good for the market, and you'll start to see investment go forward. Right now, even though we have this phase one with China, businesses aren't going to really open the faucets on investment until they really believe this is for real. Yeah, the markets will try to anticipate it, but you're not going to make massive business investments of tens of billions, hundreds of billions of dollars unless you firmly know what the rules of the road are. So this is good, but people want to see real print.
Absolutely. And they say it's going to take a couple weeks to paper. To me, that doesn't seem outrageous. I mean, deals like this do take time. Does it seem, I mean, does it make you more dubious?
No, well, anyone who's been with a merger knows that trying to do a deal just is amazing, all the details that go into it. But the proof will be in the pudding.
Right.
And they both, I think, want a deal certainly before year end, not just a phase one, but where businesses know what the rules of the road are in more and more areas, and then they can move forward.
Steve, thanks as always.
Thank
Have
you.
a great weekend. What a